In the bustling village of Kwahu, lived a wealthy widower named Kwabena. His first wife had passed away many years ago, leaving behind a beautiful daughter named Abina. Abina was kind-hearted, intelligent, and beloved by everyone in the village. However, Kwabena remarried a woman named Akojua, who was not what she seemed. Akojua was cunning, ambitious, and had a heart filled with jealousy. She saw Abina as a threat to her plans to secure her future and her own daughter's place in the household. Her daughter, Esi, was her pride and joy, and Akojua was determined to find the richest man in the village for Esi, regardless of his character. Akojua quickly made her intentions clear. She doted on Esi, showering her with gifts and attention, while subtly undermining Abina at every opportunity. Akojua's goal was to find a wealthy suitor for Esi, ensuring that she would inherit the family's wealth. Abina, on the other hand, was to be pushed aside, preferably married off to someone insignificant. In the same village lived Akin, a humble young man who was often dismissed as a loser. Akin was quiet, modest, and lived a simple life, helping his elderly mother and working as a carpenter. However, what no one knew was that Akin was the heir to a vast fortune that he kept hidden, having learned early on that true love and friendships could not be bought. Akojua's plan began to take shape when she learned of Akin's supposed lack of prospects. She saw an opportunity to marry off Abina to Akin, whom she considered a nobody, ensuring that Abina would be out of the way and Esi could marry someone of higher status. Akojua began to manipulate Kwabena, planting seeds of doubt in his mind about Abina's future. Under Akojua's influence, Kwabena started to pressure Abina to consider Akin as a suitor. Though Abina was not interested in material wealth, she hesitated. She had always admired Akin's kindness and hardworking nature but never saw him as a romantic partner. However, as the pressure mounted, Abina began to consider the idea, if only to please her father. Akojua's plan reached its peak when she convinced Kwabena to arrange a formal proposal between Akin and Abina. Akin, though surprised, accepted the proposal out of respect for Kwabena, even though he doubted Abina would truly want to marry him. Abina, feeling trapped, reluctantly agreed, believing she had no other choice. The villagers were shocked by the news. Many couldn't understand why Abina, the beautiful and well-respected daughter of Kwabena, would be forced to marry someone like Akin. The gossip spread like wildfire, and soon everyone had an opinion on the unlikely match. Little did they know that Akin was about to reveal his true identity in a way that would shock them all. As the wedding preparations began, Akin decided it was time to reveal his true identity. He had always believed that his wealth should not define him, but with the pressure mounting and Abina's reluctance growing, he knew he had to take action. Akin called a village meeting, where he stood before everyone and told them his story. He revealed that he had inherited a vast fortune from his father, a successful businessman who had always taught him the value of humility. Akin had kept his wealth a secret to avoid the greed and superficiality that often accompanied it. The villagers were stunned. The man they had dismissed as a loser was actually one of the wealthiest men in the region. With his true identity revealed, Akin's standing in the village changed overnight. Those who had once scorned him now sought his favor, and the marriage that had seemed like a cruel joke to some became the talk of the region. Abina, realizing Akin's true worth, both in character and wealth, began to see him in a new light. She appreciated his humility and the way he had kept his wealth hidden to avoid false friendships. Akojua, however, was furious. Her plan had backfired spectacularly. Esi, who had been the village's most sought-after bride, was now overshadowed by Abina. Akojua's envy grew as she saw Abina and Akin grow closer. She vowed to find a way to undermine their happiness, even as the wedding date approached. Desperate to salvage her plans, Akojua devised a new scheme. She decided to spread rumors about Akin, suggesting that he had acquired his wealth through dubious means. She whispered in the ears of influential villagers, planting seeds of doubt and suspicion. Akosua hoped that by tarnishing Akin's reputation, she could turn the villagers against him and prevent the marriage. At first, the rumors spread like wildfire, causing tension in the village. People began to look at Akin with suspicion, questioning the source of his wealth. Abina, however, stood by Akin, trusting in his integrity. She confronted Akosua, warning her that her schemes would not succeed. But Akosua was undeterred, determined to destroy the union. Despite Akosua's best efforts, the wedding day arrived. The village was abuzz with excitement, as it was not only a union between two individuals but also a symbol of the triumph of love and integrity over greed and deceit. The ceremony was grand, with villagers from all around coming to witness the marriage of Akin and Abina. Akosua, though still bitter, was forced to put on a brave face. She watched as Abina, dressed in a stunning traditional gown, walked down the aisle to meet Akin, who looked every bit the part of the wealthy and respected man he was. The ceremony was filled with joy, and as they exchanged vows, it became clear that their bond was on break. As the ceremony unfolded, the air was thick with emotions. The elders blessed the union, invoking the ancestors to protect and guide the new couple. The traditional drummers played a rhythm that resonated deep within the hearts of everyone present. Abina and Akin exchanged vows under a canopy of vibrant, colorful fabrics, symbolizing the merging of their lives into one. Akosua's bitterness simmered beneath the surface, but there was nothing she could do. The entire village celebrated the couple, and even those who had once doubted Akin's worth were now praising his humility and character. ESI, who had been raised to believe she deserved the best, watched with envy as Abina's beauty and grace captured the attention of everyone around. After the wedding, Akin and Abina retreated to a secluded location for their honeymoon, a beautiful resort hidden within the mountains. It was a time for them to connect deeply and enjoy each other's company away from the prying eyes of the village. As they spent their days exploring nature and their nights talking under the stars, Akin finally revealed the full extent of his wealth to Abina. He showed her the properties, businesses, and investments he had kept hidden. Abina was astonished but also deeply touched by Akin's decision to reveal everything to her. She realized that Akin's true wealth lay not in his material possessions but in his honesty, humility, and love. Their bond grew stronger, and they vowed to use their wealth to help the less fortunate in their village. Back in the village, Akosua was not ready to give up. She began plotting once more, this time aiming to drive a wedge between Akin and Abina. She sought out old friends of Akin's, hoping to uncover any secrets or past mistakes that could be used against him. However, Akin's past was clean, and all her efforts to dig up dirt proved fruitless. Desperation led Akosua to a final, reckless act. She attempted to sabotage one of Akin's business ventures, believing that if she could ruin him financially, Abina would leave him. However, her plan was uncovered by one of Akin's trusted employees, who informed him of Akosua's treachery. Akin, though hurt, decided to confront Akosua with dignity, choosing to expose her actions publicly. Akin decided to confront Akosua in front of the entire village. He called for a meeting at the village square, where he presented the evidence of a sabotage attempt. The villagers were shocked and outraged, realizing that Akosua had been plotting against Akin and Abina all along. Even Kwabina, who had been oblivious to his wife's scheming, was appalled by her actions. Akosua tried to deny everything, but the evidence was undeniable. The village elders, who had always held Akin in high regard, decreed that Akosua should be shunned for her wickedness. Her reputation was ruined, and even her daughter Esi distanced herself from her, ashamed of her mother's behavior. The villagers rallied around Akin and Abina, offering their support and loyalty. In the aftermath of the scandal, Akosua was forced to leave the village in disgrace. Kwabina, though heartbroken by his wife's betrayal, remained in the village, dedicating himself to rebuilding his relationship with Abina. Esi, who had been caught in her mother's schemes, sought redemption by volunteering in the village and distancing herself from her mother's legacy. Akin and Abina, now fully united, used their newfound influence and wealth to bring positive change to Kwahu. They funded schools, improved infrastructure, and supported local businesses. Their story became a legend in the region, a tale of how love, integrity, and humility triumphed over greed and deceit. Years later, as they sat together, watching their children play, Akin and Abina reflected on their journey. They had faced many challenges, but their love had remained steadfast. They knew that their legacy would not be one of wealth alone, but of the values they had upheld and the community they had helped to uplift. I hope you enjoyed and learned something from this story. Please kindly like the video, comment your thoughts, and please subscribe for more enchanting tales. Thank you.